back to my channel. I hope that you're doing well. Welcome to another video and welcome back to another TBR bingo. This is going to be a little bit of a longer video because as you guys know, I have revamped my TBR bingo board. So I have some housekeeping things to talk about as well as I need to wrap up last month and then we'll get into the spins. So if you are interested in hearing how I changed up the game, then feel free to stay tuned. But if you just want to get into the TBR game portion, I will leave timestamps in the description box as well as in the bar, the chapters for you if you would like to skip around. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to wrap up how I did last month, and then we're going to go into the new game, how things are being played. Not too much has changed, it's more just a revamp, but just in case you want to know all the things that are different, feel free to stay tuned. Okay, starting off for last month, the first book that I had was for a new author, and I picked Blackbirds in the Sky by Brandy Colbert. I unfortunately did not get to this one, but instead of taking a punishment or unhauling it, I'm just going to roll it over and read it next month. Then for nonfiction, I picked Between the World and Me by Ta-Nehisi Coates. I DNF'd this one, but technically I did read it. Then for Instagram pick, I had The Inheritance of Rakita Davinia, and I did read this. Then for highest rated, I had Bitter by Akoi Kayamezi, and I did read this. For buddy read, I had Wings of Ebony by JL, and I did read this. For Goodreads recommends, I had Instructions for Dancing by Nicola Yoon, and I did read this. For adult romance, I picked The Wedding Date by Jasmine Gilroy, and I did read this. For reread a favorite, I had House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas, and I did read this. For grandma pick, I had The Boyfriend Project by Farrah Roshan, and I did read this. For random number generator, I had The Passing Playbook by Isaac Fitzsimmons, and I did read that. For Kaylani pick, I had House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas, and I did read this. And finally, for middle grade, I had Blended by Sharon M. Draper, and I did read this. So all in all, out of the 12 books that I had last month, only one I didn't get around to, and I will be rolling this over into next month. However, if I don't read it next month, I do have to unhaul it. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the brand new board. I am so pumped and so excited. I'm so happy with all the changes that I made. For the new board, I have revamped all of the squares, all of the colors. I have done stickers on the back of all of the prompts so that you can see what the prompts say. I've also changed up the rules a little bit. I think I've added 30 to 40 new prompts for this round of the game, so I'm very, very excited about that. However, I am going to be doing a second round of TBR bingo. Every time we get a bingo, I'll switch it up. So if you have any recommendations for prompts, please, please, please leave them in the description box below. I will go ahead and add them in and then add your name to the prompt so that I know that gave it to me. So without further ado, let's show off the board. Here is the brand new board. It's kind of hard to show it off in the way that I'm sitting, but here's the brand new board. I think you guys saw it last month, but I did change up the bingo. But these are what the new colors look like. It looks very clean, very gorgeous. I'm obsessed with it. I'm not even lying. I'm so obsessed with this. And then as you can see, if I pull off one of the numbers, on the back it has a little sticker that tells you what the prompt is and a little illustration just because I thought that it was fun. That way you guys can actually see what the prompts say when I show them off when I pick them. I'm going to go ahead and put this down, but I will go ahead and go over the rest of the rules. So as you guys know, the last time I played this, if I landed on anything that ended in a 5, that meant that I had to do an extra spin. I've changed that up. I got kind of used to things that ended in a 5 and I'm like, okay, well I just have to do an extra spin. So every time that we get a bingo, I will be changing up the numbers that require me to pull an extra ball, but I also added in a little nice thing for me as well. So if I pick a card and it has this shiny pink heart on it, that means that I have one less spin on my TBR bingos. As you guys know, there's a lot of rounds where I have a ton of numbers to pick. So that is just a little reward for me. However, this is a bad example because this one kind of blends in. However, if I pick a card that has this color heart on it, or a black heart, or a gold heart, I kind of ran out of hearts. So anything that's not a shiny pink heart means I have to add a book to my TBR. So there are 10 options for me to add one and 10 options for me to take one off. So I just thought it would be fun to kind of switch it up, change the way that the addition and subtraction came into play into this game. Hopefully you like that rule. I think it's super fun, especially when you're in the middle of the game and you get a curveball thrown at you. It's just a blast. That being said, the things that are staying the same is any number ending in a 6 is a punishment card, so that is not changing. I really liked incorporating that into the last time that I changed the game, so that is one of the things that is staying. Also, you will see at the beginning of every game, I will also pull out of my TBR jar. I do that at the very beginning, so if I want to fit them into any of the prompts that I pull, I can do so, but I will also be reading a book out of my TBR jar every single month, and the same goes if I do not finish that book, I will also have a punishment. So really, that is the only thing that's changed in the game. I really just revamped the cards, did the new stickers, changed the rules just a little bit. I will also be rolling a D20 die instead of a D12 and a D8. So that's just a way to change it up. It gives me all of my numbers into one dice. That way I don't have to do as much math. So that's also good for me. Let me know if there's anything that you would like me to change in this game or things that you would like me to incorporate. I am more than happy to add those things into the game. If I missed anything, I'm sorry, but you will kind of see it as we play. But other than that, let's go ahead and get into the spins. Okay, friends, so I'm rolling the d20 for the first time. Hopefully it doesn't do me dirty. I do have 2 rolls to get the number that I want. Let's hope I can get it in the first try. Let's hope. Oh my god. It was a 17? Oh no, I'm gonna have to roll again. Wow. It changed so much. 16. Alright, well, it's going to be a long month. Okay, so before we do our 16 rolls, let's go ahead and do my TBR jar pull. The reason that I'm doing it beforehand is because I can use it to fit into any of the prompts that I get from the month, but I just want to make sure that I'm picking some stuff that's kind of random off my TBR. I don't know. I just thought it would be fun, but let's go ahead and reach in and pick a card or a slip of paper. Alright, well, that's not what I was expecting, but I guess we're reading Looking for Alaska. As you guys saw, the very first thing that I did was pull out of my TBR jar, and I got Looking for Alaska by John Green. I did not fit this into any of my prompts, so I figured I would just mention it. I don't really know what this is about. I believe it's a mystery of a girl named Alaska who is close with one of her classmates, then she kind of goes missing, leaving him clues as to where he went. This was also turned into a Netflix show, I believe, or some type of TV show, so I'm excited to get to it. It's the last John Green book that I own that I haven't read, so hopefully I will enjoy it. Alright, it's official. Let's play with the new board. Spin number 1. I got 2. The first one that came out is N45. Alright, N45 was on the board, and our prompt is bought secondhand. And then the very first pull, we got 45, which is bought secondhand. I'm very excited for this because I don't work at a bookstore anymore, so it's very rare that I go and pick up books that are secondhand. So I'm trying to get through some of the books that I bought in that format. And the first one that I have here is Layla by Colleen Hoover. I'm really excited to get around to this one. I'm actually doing another secret TBR video this month, and this happens to fall into that category, so I'm hoping that I can get around to this one and really love it. I have read Verity by Colleen Hoover, which is her other romantic suspense. I've heard this one is a little bit more paranormal and is very hit or miss with a lot of Colleen Hoover fans, so I'm very curious to see how I'm going to feel about this one. Okay, spin number 2. B13. B13 is Priority Shelf, so any book on my Priority Shelf. Okay, for spin number 2, we got 13, and that was Priority Shelf. As you know, I am a host for the SeasonAthon, and this month is Spring into ReadingAthon, so I'm very, very excited to be able to fit in our group book, which is The Extraordinaries by TJ Klune. I'm so excited to read this book, and even more excited to interview TJ Klune. If you guys have not heard of the SeasonAthon as well as Spring into ReadingAthon, I will leave our information down in the description box below, alongside all of our announcement videos and the Google Doc if you would like to participate. But our group book is The Extraordinaries, and we will be interviewing TJ Klune on the 26th at 3 p.m. EST on Mel's channel, so I'm very excited to fit this one in. I don't know too much about this. I know that it's YA, I know it's queer, and I know it has to do with superheroes. But other than that, I'm just really excited to jump into it. I'm hoping to read as much TJ Klune this month as I can, so hopefully I can get to this one and love it. Spin number 3. O64. O64 is a book with representation. Perfect for this month. For spin number 3, we got a book with representation, and speaking of TJ Klune, I picked The Under the Whispering Door by, of course, TJ Klune. This does have LGBTQI+ representation in it, so I'm very, very excited to get around to this one. This is Clint's favorite TJ Klune book, and I'm very excited to get to this one. Like I said, I'm trying to read as much TJ Klune as I can, so really excited for this. I'm also buddy reading this one with my friend Mike, and I believe Karina also was hoping to buddy read this one as well, so I'm very excited for that. This has to do with a man named Wallace who's attending his own funeral. He realized that he's died and that he hasn't really lived the life that he really wanted to, and so when he's going to spend the next 7 days in between life and death in this little tea shop where he gets to experience life as a whole, and he also falls in love with the man that owns the tea shop. So I'm very excited to get around to this one. I've heard nothing but good things, and hopefully it's amazing. Spin number 4. B10. For B10, it is a TBR game, and we also have a freaking heart right here. This is either a pale pink heart, or a black heart, or a gold heart. All of those mean that we have to add an extra spin. So alongside 16, we're actually gonna have 17 freaking spins this month. For prompt number 4, we got TBR game. Unfortunately, that means one more book added to the TBR, but I'm very excited because I'm playing a TBR game that I have never played from before. So as you guys know, there's a lot of people out there that do the tarot card TBR game. Hi guys, editing Kaylani, just popping in for just a second. I was filming this video in a rush, and I forgot to mention the people that do a tarot TBR game. I apologize, but I just did want to give them credit since this isn't my game, and I got the idea from them. So the person that I watch the most that does this TBR game is It's Bells, and she has like a really cool like fairy tale TBR where she talks about like the origins of the stories. It's really cool. So if you haven't checked that one out, I highly, highly recommend it. I'll leave it in the description box below. But a couple more names that do it. Books Past Bedtime, Amy Noel reads, Hannah reads. Let's see if there's anyone else that I'm missing. The Roomies Digest has done it once. Life Worth Reading does it. I mean, there's so many. I'll leave a playlist down below of TBR tarot cards if you guys want to go watch those. But sorry that I didn't mention it, but I wanted to pop it in here. Anyways, enjoy the rest of the video. Something that I've never done before, I own the Fairy Loot edition of the tarot cards that come in their monthly boxes. So I'm going to use this, put some intention into my cards, shuffle them up, and pick a card. I do have prompts already set up for these, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and let's see what we get. Let's do a quick shuffle. I'm just going to I was shuffling these for like 30 minutes while I was on the phone with a friend the other day, so I think they're pretty well shuffled, but I'm just going to shuffle them pretty well. I'm going to split them in half and see what I get. We got the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles, I chose the prompt, book about betrayal, because the guy has a snake on his hand, and for me, snakes, they signify betrayal. So let me take a look around and see if I have any books that I can think of that feature betrayal. Okay, I think this might be stretching it a little bit, but this is one that I'm very excited to read. It's also on my 22 books to read in 2022, but I'm going to choose Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. This follows a single mom who is coming out of prison, and the people in her life are not allowing her to see her daughter anymore. They're kind of cutting her out of her life based off of her past, and I'm seeing that as a form of betrayal. I'm sure that the character is also going to see it that way, so I'm hoping that I really love this one. I do love a good Colleen Hoover book, and the fact that I'm able to fit into Colleen Hoover's this month makes me super, super happy. Time for spin number 5. G59. G59 is 5+ word title, but we also have a shiny star, which means we are actually back down to 16 spins. Look at us go. For number 5, we got a book with a 5+ word title. For that, I'm going to choose I Would Leave If I Could by Halsey. This is a poetry collection that I'm very excited to get to. I am reading this for a specific reason this month, so it was even better that I was able to fit it into my actual TBR. It shouldn't take me too long. It's pretty small. I do love a good poetry collection, so hopefully this one hits me in the feels. I've heard good things, so hopefully I love it. Spin number 6 out of 15. We have O75. O75 is a reread, which is perfect because I have a book I really needed to get onto this list. Spin number 6, we got 75, which is a reread. This is one that I'm very, very excited I was able to fit on a TBR because unfortunately I was not able to read it in the month of February, and that is Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. This is a group buddy read that we're doing with a bunch of friends, and unfortunately, like I said, I was not able to start it. I do have a little bookmark in here, but it's not even on a page, so I'm very excited to get around to this one. I have reread Crown of Midnight, however, I have not read any of the rest of the series, so I need to read this one as well as Air Fire this month in order to stay caught up. Spin number 7. 7 is N44. N44 is an even number of pages. Okay, spin number 7, we got 44, which is an even number of pages. For that, I chose The 5th Season by N.K. Jemisin. I have been rolling this over month after month after month. This was my punishment book back in December for a game that I played on my channel, and I still have not picked it up. I just knew that I needed to get it set on a TBR or I was never going to read it, so here it is. This is a adult, high fantasy, sci-fi type book. I've heard that the writing is a little bit clunky and strange, but I've heard it's worth it and so, so good, so I'm hoping that I can finally get around to this book this month. Okay, this is not going too bad. Spin number 8. Spin number 8 is G56. Some things don't change. Everything ending in a 6 means that it's a punishment card. So for this, we have Random Prompt Timer. This is going to be a fun ride. Okay, spin number 8, we got Random Prompt Timer. This is a punishment. Unfortunately, I'm really scared for this one because the last time I did this, I picked freaking Priory of the Orange Tree. So basically what I'm going to do is I have a random number generator set up, 1 through 75, use that number to pick a prompt, and then I have 10 seconds to pick a book, or I have to pick 2 books to fulfill that prompt. So let's see. Let's hope that I can do it. Let's hope it's not a hard prompt to do, but I'm going to scoot over so you can see. I'm going to generate a number 3 times, and then I'm going to see what prompt that is. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, prompt number 39. Okay, prompt number 39. 39 is an audiobook. I'm gonna do, no, I can't, Air Fire. That was genuinely terrifying. Genuinely terrifying. But I do have the audiobook for Air of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. I have been listening to the audiobooks of these ones. I was freaking out because I thought I was going to have to pick 2 books for this. But I'm going to read Air of Fire, the 3rd book in the Throne of Glass series. Oh, my heart is palpitating. Okay, spin number 9 is I-28. I-28 is a 5-star prediction. Our next spin, we got 58, which is a 5-star prediction. For that, I'm going to read Beartown by Frederick Bachman. I'm finally putting this on a TBR. I've had this on lists to read since 2020. You guys, it's finally going to happen. I'm so excited. This is also fitting for my Buzzwordathon prompt, which is a place or location in the title. Beartown is a town, so I'm very excited to be able to fit this in. Oh man, I'm so excited. I'm hoping to love this. I've heard it's hard hitting, but we shall see. Spin number 10. We have O67. O67 is non-binary or non-gender specific, so this could be the author or the character. Our next spin, we got 67, and for that we got non-binary or non-gender specific author or character. For that, I'm going to read The Death of Vivek Oji. This is one that I was supposed to unhaul, but after reading Pet and Bitter by Kwiki Emezi, I know that I need to go back and read this. I've heard nothing but good things about this, and I think I had originally thought that this was a thriller, but I think this is more of a contemporary with a slight thriller type aspect to it. But I trust Kwiki Emezi's writing, and I know that they write really wonderful stories and fantastic characters, so I know I'm going to love this. And the representation that I know about is Kwiki Emezi is a non-binary author, so very excited to get around to this one. Spin number 11. Whoa! G54. Okay, G54 is a shiny cover. For 54, we got shiny cover, and for that, I'm going to choose City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. This does have like a shiny lettering, and the actual cover is a little bit reflective and shiny. I need to get around to the rest of the series so that I can pick up my buddy read that I'm doing with a bunch of friends, and I need to read the Mortal Instruments before I can go back and read everything else. So I'm gonna sneak this into this section. I know it's not extremely shiny, but I think it works. Spin number 12. We have N39. N39 is listen to an audiobook and another shiny heart, which means that we are doing 15 spins. Woo, 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 woo. Okay, up next we got 39, which we've seen this prompt before because we just got it in the random prompt timer, and that is to listen to an audiobook. For that, I'm going to listen to the audiobook of Fortuna Sworn. I recently got approved for the audiobook through NetGalley, so I definitely want to get around to this so I can put up a review relatively soon. I have heard nothing but good things about the series. Becca and Ashley have recently just read the 4th book in the series and loved it, so I'm very excited to get around to book 1. All I know is that it's a fantasy romance that has to do with nightmares and dreams, so I'm very excited to get around to this one. Spin number 13. We have I-18. I-18 is on the board, which is not too bad for our first round, but I-18 is a random color generator. Okay, prompt number 18 is a random color generator, so I do have a random color generator that I'm going to put up on the screen. I'm going to randomize it 3 times and pick a book based off of that color. So ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, Pearl Night Blue. Just a really dark blue. And that actually worked out perfectly because there's one book that I really need to get on this TBR that I was supposed to read last month that I did not get around to, and that is House of Salt and Sorrow by Erin A. Craig. It's not exactly that blue color, but there is some of those dark blues in this cover, so I'm going to take it. I think that it works, so my game, my rules. I don't know too much about this. I know it's nautical themed fantasy. I've heard a lot of people tell me that they think I'm going to love it, so hopefully I can get around to this one and finally finish up a secret TBR video that I've been working on for far too long. Spin number 14. N41. N41 is Goodreads Scroll. Number 41, we have Goodreads Scroll, so I'm going to go ahead and scroll through Goodreads. The first book that I see that somebody else has liked, added to their want to read, read, the first one that I see that I own is the one that I'm going to read. Oh my god. I was going to scroll, but I guess I'm not, because the first one on here is The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson, which I do own, and I have not yet read. Well, shit, I guess I'm reading it this month. Well, I really was not planning on reading this book just yet, but I guess we're gonna read it. I have started this book once before. I got about 105 pages in, and I was really enjoying it. I like the writing, I like the world, I like the setting. I just was in a reading slump at the time, put it down, have not picked it up since, so I'm glad to be getting this off of my pile of shame. This one is a fantasy book that follows characters and is set in a world where what if the Dark Lord won and the Dark Lord did win. It's set years and years after the Dark Lord has kind of conquered this world, and it follows characters that are living in a world based off of magic system with allomancy, so metals and adjustment of metals. I've heard nothing but good things about this book and the series, so hopefully I can get around to it and finally finish it up. And what is hopefully our last spin, spin number 15, here we go. B14. And B14 is Mom Pick, which I will give her a call and see if she can pick a book for me. And our last and final prompt, we had 14, which is Mom Pick, and I gave her a list of options of books to pick from, and she chose Wolf by Ryan Groudon. This is one that I am very excited to get around to. It's on my These Books Will Self-Destruct in 12 Months video, so happy to finally get around to some of those books. This is also going to work for my shape-shifting prompt for the TBR Knockout, which my other TBR Knockout is City of Bones, which is a book with magic, so I'm glad that I was able to fit all the books that I need to read in this TBR, so that's even better. I'm very excited to get around to this one. It is historically set, so I'm hoping that I still like it, but I've heard good things, so hopefully I will. Alright, these are all of the books that I'm supposed to read this month, including my rollover and my TBR jar pick. Holy crap, it's going to be another tough month for sure, but hopefully I can get around to them. I'm pretty sure these are all of the books that I absolutely have to get to in regards to buddy reads and readathon situations and challenges for the year, so this is actually fantastically perfect, except for the fact that there's a lot of them. Feel free to let me know if you've read any of the books that I talked about today and what you thought of them. I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know what you think of the new TBR game and how things went. If you have any recommendations for ways that I can change it and make it better, I would love to hear your thoughts. Also, leave down below some recommendations for prompts for the next round of TBR Bingo. But that is the end of this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. And of course, leave any comments, questions, and suggestions in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Baby, turn it down like a sweet and ready. Go slow, keep it nice and steady.